Good morning. Uh, yeah. Last week, my this page changed my mind. It reached 107 people. Now, I don't know how many looked at it or views it got or anything. Any of those statistics, I don't have them. I don't look at them. I don't know them. I don't care about them. I don't know how many people laughed, judged me, used these videos to rationalize their own insecurities. But it reached 107, possibly girls, uh, because I'm working towards an inversion of the hierarchies. But I've told you this before, which means matriarchy over patriarchy. And if you look at all the up and coming DJs, most of them are women. Like you take a Nifra, Anifisa Lediego, I'm not sure her name, but Anifisa Lediego. These are just some of my favourites. Amelia Lenz. There's a few of them, but there's a good few of them. Deborah De Luca. All women, because they're coming up through the women are this is their movement now. Women are coming to power, the empowerment of women. But all these new DJs are women because they all listening to well, they're listening to their soul. But then we'd have to start defining our terms. But I'll do that in a minute. Now, the other day I was listening to Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus is another perfect example. Miley Cyrus said in an interview, my intuition is very loud. My intuition is very loud. Now, these are the women that I'm making these videos for, that their intuition is very loud. This is their soul. But you see, it takes courage to live, and it takes courage to listen to your soul and to act on this intuition. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. I had one here last night. He doesn't. Because afraid of stress, especially here in the Balkans, they're afraid of stress. Oh, I don't want to be stressed. Oh, I don't want to be, oh, I have children. Oh, I have a wife. Oh, I have all the trappings of life and I have all the reasons not to reach my full potential or even try to reach my full potential. I go to sit here on the phone every night, bored out my wits, and fucking be depressed, but pretend I'm not depressed. You know what I mean? I pretend that life is great. I pretend I'm having a wonderful time. I pretend that everything is fucking grand to my friends, or I might even put some posts on Facebook. If I have a weekend away, I'll stick it all up on Facebook, and everybody can like my shit and support me in my delusion that I'm really enjoying life. But you'll be left to do this, you'll be left to do this till you're dead. But these are one of the choices that we have to make. And this is why I say Kierkegaard said the first choice they had to make is the aesthetic man or the virtuous man. But for those, the reason I make these videos is for those who to help them overcome these insecurities, these fears, these stresses, and lead by example. For example, lead by example. But let's look at one of the concepts, for example, and that's the dizzy heights of freedom, which is again from Kierkegaard. He used to talk about people who suffer from the dizzy heights of freedom. This is the dizzy heights of freedom last night. You know what I mean? I don't want to be stressed and everything else, because in the Balkans they don't have any real genetic resilience or coping mechanisms coming out of a communist regime where they used to all sit around and drink coffee every morning and more or less but yet gambling is rife here. Everywhere you go, gambling. Loads of gambling, drug addiction, this sort of thing, because this is looking to satisfy the instinctual drive for pleasure, the instinctual drive for pleasure. But you see, the thing is, if you're aiming to achieve your full potential, it's you don't seek pleasure. Pleasures are, you have to overcome these instinctual drives, these fears, aversions. Fears and your desires and aversions are the first thing you have to overcome, and then your stresses, but your fears would be your aversions are your fears. In other words, what will happen to me? I've no money, all this sort of thing. You have to overcome the fear of death. You have to overcome the perceptions of others. But at first, you have to start. You have to fucking start, and you have to start by throwing yourself into the abyss. And let me tell you, then it's not an easy ride. It's a bumpy fucking ride. Because you have to suffer trials and tribulations. And these trials and tribulations will test your worth and test your faith, but your faith and reason are one and the same. For example, I'm not a big man on faith, because that goes into the sort of a Christian sort of thing, you know what I mean, that they use to, you know what faith is, but I'm not, but as Hegel said, faith and reason are one and the same. And I give you an example, like, for that, because, like, when I first started, devices, sometimes, you'd be out walking, you listen to Alan Watts, and next thing the thoughts would come in. They're not even thoughts. It's as clear as if there was someone talking to me here now. It's calmed down a lot now. It's back to nearly that of a normal person now. I have to pay attention, I have to focus. But you say, you're mad. I used to repeatedly say, you're mad. And I used to say, yeah, but I've always been mad. Now, at this, a lot of people had shit their pants and run off and get a handful of tablets. I'm hearing voices. Give me some tablets to cure this. They question themselves. They question they question this experience. They question, am I mad? And this is to not believe in yourself. If you actually understand who you are and what you are, this is not to believe in yourself. This is to deny your soul. This is to deny. But again, like, at this point, I was after reading a good bit of Buddhism, a little bit of philosophy, a bit of Hinduism, and then, of course, the psychology courses. But and of course the psychology courses. But then, of course, the only thing that gets you through this is reason. You know what I mean? Who are you? No fear and a belief in yourself. And, like, if this says this is your soul, then this is your fucking soul. You're not. And of course, then I had all the people telling me I was mad, I was insane, I was this, I was that. Fuck them all. I absolutely had the courage to be insane. I have the courage to be insane, and that's what people are lacking, and that's why I'm making these videos, to demonstrate what it's like to have the courage to be insane, what they call insane, what they want to laugh at, what they want to, you know what I mean, look at the madman. But you, sir, are, well, this podcast is for women, but the people who are laughing and saying, look at the madman, you're leading a miserable existence. Your existence is miserable. The truth be known, you get up in the morning, you go to a shit fucking job, you get your fucking money at the end of the week, you pay your fucking rent, you pay your fucking mortgage or whatever it is, you put food on your table, and you might have a little bit of a night out where you get plastered, and that's it. That's your whole experience. That's a miserable existence. It's a miserable fucking existence. Or maybe caught up with the trappings of life. Like, but I want to talk more about the trials and tribulations. So this is one of the trials. It'll test you mentally to test your actual. To stress you out and to build your resilience, to build your coping mechanisms, and to see if you're actually worth a shit. It's like at the same time when I used to own the gym. I was telling you before, when people used to come in to train, I used to say, well, I used to insist on training them first. I used to say, oh no, unless they're well used to training, of course. But and then of which I'd know them. But if they were new to the gym, I used to say, no, I'm going to show you how this is going. I'm going to train you, and I'd break them up. Now they'd be so fucking sore. But people used to say to me, oh, Dave, that's not very good business. I don't care. I used to say, if they can't come back after this, I don't want them. They're no good to me. What fucking good are they to me? I can't get any result out of them. I don't want them hanging around the fucking place. They're no good to me. They can fuck off wherever they like. They can fuck off to the gym downtown. They can fuck off to the other gym. They can go where the fuck they like. They're not staying here. They're no fucking good to me. And it's the same with the universe. If you can't come through the hard trials and tribulations, like I'm telling you now, some of it is rough, but you have to learn to enjoy it all. You have to learn to actually enjoy it all. Like when I realised I was going to be homeless, I sat down on the pavement and started crying and said I didn't sign up for this shit. To which the universe replied, stay present. Stay present. And now. And now. And this is something I had to learn, because what was causing me all my problems, all my psychological problem, this fear of I'm a beggar, I'm a tramp. What are people going to think of me? What have I been reduced to? Where am I going to sleep? All these fucking anxieties. And until I actually faced all these fears and anxieties and found that I didn't, it turned into quite an enjoyable experience. And one you'd never think is going to be enjoyable, but was absolutely a magnificent experience and a very enjoyable experience. And when I realised I was getting as resilient as fucking as hard as nails, I enjoyed it even more. But you have to come through this, and for this you have to be prepared to throw yourself into the abyss. Of course, then it's AC current. You're going to have good days, bad days, good days, bad days. But you have to learn to enjoy it all. For example, if I have no food here, if I have food, I'm not going to worry where's my next meal coming from. There's no food, but I'm not going to worry where's my next meal coming from. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If I'm at this stage, I know I'm of some value to the universe because I've come through hell. And there's no point starving me to death now, is there? No. But in saying that, it's also very important to remember that you're entitled to nothing. You're entitled to jack shit. You're not entitled to another minute on this planet. And when it starts with that realization that you are not entitled to another minute on this planet. And this is why I say the first thing, as I told you before, I was dying in the chair. And the first thing you have to overcome is the fear of death. And this fear of death could be your death, someone else's death, anybody's fucking death, but you have to change your attitude and your perception in relation to death. And this involves an understanding of death, an understanding of life, an understanding of nature. But mine started with death, maybe other people started with death, but first of all, you have to change your attitude in relation to death and your fear of death, your relationship with death. Of course, like it all gets easier when you develop your understanding more. And then after that is the perceptions of others. And that's really hard. And that's where the freedom is. Because what freedom actually is, I never defined my concept, and this is why I originally came out to make this video for. What freedom actually is that if your soul is free, I control myself. And that's why when people say to me, when they see me drinking, they say, oh, he's teaching self-control, but he's not in control of himself. I am very much in control of myself, even more so when I'm drunk, because I control myself. Nobody else controls me. I control myself. I am my soul. I am my soul is me. And that's why we work together. It's we laugh, joke, talk, plan, but there's no fear. If my soul says to me, go on out that gate there now, I'll walk in, pick up my bag, and on out that gate I'll go. I won't say, oh, I don't even have the price of the bus. No, I won't. I just walk in, pick up the bag, and out through the fucking gate. And that's freedom, because my soul is free. It's not trap, because what traps it is desires and aversions. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want nothing. We're doing something together, but I as a self want nothing. That's why I'm completely detached from the outcomes of these videos, completely detached from the outcome of everything I do. There's no, why is everybody not licking my arse in these videos? Where's my money? why is there's no expectation. There's no expectation that I'm waiting for this big fucking windfall of money. There's no expectation of anything. And that's the first thing. I had no expectations, no desires, no aversions. I want nothing, I expect nothing, I fear nothing. But this has to be learned. But you first of all have to throw yourself into the fucking abyss. Have fear, have courage, have courage to listen to your soul. And this is what sets your soul free. I may go, because this time's up. Bye.